We are your home theater and AV questions answered. This is AV Rant. Want your home theater or AV question answered by Tom and Rob? Send it to question@avrant.com. Welcome to AV Rant. I'm Tom Antry, and I'm here with
Rob H.
All right, Alan. I have his images up too. All right.
Yep.
First, he shared some pics of his DIY absorption panels using images printed by Spoonflower. Again, he's thrilled with the results. The 52-inch by 52-inch print was just under $50 shipped. So he's really impressed with the price. And if you're looking at this, is that big-ass thing on his wall, which looks totally freaking awesome.
So I'm showing some images of the construction. So he's got like a frame that he made, and he actually made like sort of a false frame within the frame, so we'd have a little pocket at the top, and that way he could slide it onto some L brackets, which allowed him to have like an air gap in behind it. So kind of an interesting and smart way to design it. Leaves himself this little pocket at the top, and that way he can slide it right onto the wall. And yeah, these images, I mean, if you're not got your eyes right up within inches of it, that looks darn good, in my opinion.
It looks very good.
Very clean, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really nice. I'm looking at it right now. Okay, what's going on? The room is 11 and a half feet wide and 30 feet long, but open on the rear right side. Most of what we see in the room is staying, but can't be moved too much. But he wants to optimize his sound as much as possible, since buying new speakers isn't in the budget. He spent it all on, sprints from Spoonflower. Would it be worth his time and effort to put bass traps in each of the theater corners? Keeping in mind the right rear corner isn't really a corner. Would wedge-shaped bass traps be the way to go, or could he just put 4 inches of insulation in each corner? I'm a little confused about that second part of it. Wedge-shaped are easier.
Well, like the triangle-shaped things.
Yeah, that's the
or
wedge.
Ones that straddle. Yeah.
Oh.
So he's like, could he go, does he have to straddle them or put wedges, or could he just have 4-inch thick rectangular panels that just fit nicely into the corners?
Not,
I think is fine.
Not straddling, or yes,
not straddling. Not straddling. So like he's saying, does he have to have one that ends up looking like a triangle? Because it's either straddling or it is a triangle, or could he just have rectangular panels that go into the corners?
I mean, you could do whatever you want. The wedge ones work better. I mean, technically, or the straddle ones.
Just because they're thicker.
Yeah.
The distance from their front to that actual corner
and
is a greater distance.
Difference between the wedges and the ones that straddle, because the ones that straddle technically are further away. The performance is pretty similar, surprisingly. Yeah. The wedges are tend to be smaller because, you don't have all the extra space that's coming off the front of a thing. But, you can do it either way. It doesn't matter. Yeah, and yes, as much bass trapping as you can do, you could probably do. This room is...
Yeah, because this room looks like, I mean, he's got a fair amount, his furniture is plush, so at least it's not highly reflective furniture, but you got a big flat wall on, both sides, really. Flat ceiling. You got carpet at least, but, there's a fair amount of reflective surfaces in this room, so probably, the more absorption that you could get in here, and reasonably speaking, probably the better.
I want to know how he got that big anything goes thing on the wall. That's the print that is that the print he's talking about? Or
no, that's not one he made. That's something they put into this room and cannot be changed or covered. So that right wall is going to be reflective like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's this pink one that he made.
But you could put a speaker in it, but you can't do the other thing. I thought that was like actual. Well, look at what he put in his windows. It just looks like black construction paper or something up there. That'll work too. All right. His surround backs are in a bookcase. Should he stuff insulation behind and around them inside the bookshelves? They're rear ported. Well, taking a look at these, I feel like you need to pull them forward a touch. They seem to be recessed. So
are they? It's hard to tell.
It's very hard to tell, but I feel like they are. So if they are recessed, then you should unrecess them.
Yeah.
Other than if you unrecess them, you could I would be okay with you putting like a thin layer, like maybe an inch or two, just kind of behind them.
Because otherwise you're going to have that boxy sound going on there. So but a bit of insulation in behind and around them, I'd be quite okay with that.
I don't know. I mean, but I think getting the front baffle out in front. Now, like I said, I could be wrong. could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm trying to zoom
make sure
right
the front of the speaker is proud of the front edge of that bookcase.
It does look like they're overhanging somewhat, but they don't look like they're overhanging the side little fascia of the bookshelf. That's where I think you need to get in front of that thing too.
You could toe them in a tiny bit.
Yeah. Do we see anything else in the setup that demands a change? He hasn't painstakingly played with the tone of his front speakers. Would it be worth doing that? Well, it would not be worth doing that, sir. Let's be honest with you. That is something certainly worth trying. He has them angled in, it looks like, as I'm looking over that here. It's kind of towards that main seat. I would definitely play around with it a little bit. I am looking around. Let me see if I can get a bigger, like more open area of this room. I keep ending up on that.
Yeah, I mean, what he was saying about maybe having the front corners some more insulation in there, I think that'd be a good idea because you've got your front speakers because you've got this large projection screen up front, and we certainly understand that. But having some absorption in those corners would help. You've already put the one panel to the side of the front left speaker, so if you were able to equal that in some way to the side of the front right speaker, all of that would be good because we're just trying to tamp down a little bit of those early reflections that are definitely going to be combining with the direct sound of the speaker and reaching your ears. So if we tamp down those reflections coming from the front of the room a little bit, that's something that seems doable in his case.
Yeah, I wonder if you could if you could match that blue color and then put some squares of blue on your Anything Goes.
Oh, I see.
Because there's definitely room at the front there. There's definitely room below the surround speaker, and you have something below the surround speaker on the other side, where you could just put something blue there. I wonder if that's something that you could do.
Seems possible. Yeah. You don't have to go nuts, but those would be a few tweaks you might be able to do.
Yeah, the plaid couch is a little... it's a little much, too. You might want to get that reupholstered. That's what I'm going to suggest. I'm sorry, dude. The plaid couch is killing me. Want your question answered? Send it to question@avrant.com. This is AV Rant.
Now go out and listen to something.